All right, I'm recording. So, hi everybody. Tonight is Tuesday, January 12th, and this is the first official Fierce Fit Pride and Wildflowers team call. So excited to see new faces of the beautiful people on Kelly's team. So let's get started. Our topic for tonight, and this is a mouthful. I'm going to try and say this correctly. It is our topic for tonight's call is Prospect to Challenger, the 8-step foolproof method. So Kelly and I have prepared what's called a Google Slides presentation. It's like PowerPoint, but in the Google Drive. And what's so awesome about that is that we're going to be able to share that presentation with all of you in the Google Drive after the call, and we'll also include the link to the call in the presentation once we've uploaded it to YouTube. So why don't we get started? What do you say, Kelly? Sound good?
Perfect.
Okay. All right. So, first I need to share my screen. There we go. Bloop. Weird. Why is that showing up? Okay. So, can everybody see my screen? My really organized screen. Okay. Here we go. So I wonder, Kelly, if I just, I haven't tried to play this. Did you try playing it? Present? Does that sound right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool. Yay. Alrighty. So here we go. We're going to talk to you about 8 steps that are effective for taking your prospects through the, turning your prospects into challengers, okay? There we go. Okay, so the first thing we need to start with, this is my slide, the first thing that we need to start with is the list. We refer to it as the memory jogger, but I know for me, every month I start with a pretty fresh list of people because I'm constantly adding to my network and I'm moving people around, whether they, decide to join a challenge group or I put them in my No Not Now tab. So I make a new list at the start of every month. And what you want to do is you want to create a list of people who like and or comment on your Facebook content, of course, so your videos and your posts and everything, as well as, take a look at the people who are engaging on your posts that you share on other social media platforms like Instagram. I know that, I have friends who I'm friends with on Facebook who don't really engage or like or comment on my posts that I share on Facebook, and they're more Instagram people. So, they end up liking my Instagram posts more often, and then I put their name on that list. The other thing that you want to do is you don't want to count out everybody else outside of your social media acquaintances and friends, like your immediate and your extended family, your friends, your colleagues or your former colleagues, if you now do this business full time, people that you already have relationships with, and people that you're going to feel comfortable reaching out to, without having to feel like you need to really go through that forming process with them. Like that's already taken care of because you already have that foundation for a relationship built. The other thing that I find is helpful, and it's not seen in this picture here that I have, but I have since this list started organizing my list when it comes time to invite. So I'll have like family list, a new friends list. So people who I may have added like from different Facebook groups that I'm a part of. Those are the people that I'm going to want to form with a little bit more before I reach out to them and send them that invite. My former colleagues, I have a list of people who would benefit solely from Shakeology. Like if I know a little bit about, the health history of a person, like I know so-and-so has autoimmune disease because they've posted about, their struggle with some kind of autoimmune disease on Facebook. that's going to register in my brain, and they're going to go in my Shakeology list. And people who might benefit from or just enjoy a particular program. I have so many friends on Facebook who love yoga, who love Pilates. And if I'm running a PIO challenge group, or if I, want to run a PIO challenge group, I might reach out to some of those people. So that's the first thing you're going to start with. You're going to start with your list. And I personally have been trying to make a point to reach out to 5 people a day. It's going to look different for you based on, what your business goals are and where you're at in this business. But I like to have a list of between 50 to 100 people at the start of every month, so that I'm not like scrambling trying to find people. I know who I'm going to connect with that month. So Kelly, you can take this away, girlfriend.
Okay, like Matt said, step number 2 is building the relationship. And I just wrote sort of a reminder, although we just talked about it, you definitely want to work from your list. And I can promise you that if you're not working from that list, as you start building the relationships, number 1, people are going to get lost. But also number 2, you're going to be wasting a lot of time looking for people to help. So it definitely is an advantage to build that list, like Meg said, as you start the month. And then doing that every month is going to be a big time saver. So what I do, and there's a couple things, and I just want to make this broad because this tonight's call isn't about building relationships so much as to just making those prospects turn into challengers. So I'm just touching on a few things and a few ways that you can turn different relationships into challengers. And some of the ways that I do that are, what's worked really well for me is like this post or email me for more info and I'll be in touch. You can do that with challenge groups, or you can do that with coach opportunity posts. I always reach out to them. I make it a fun picture. I mean, I'll make it a picture of my family or my kids doing something I love during the middle of the day, showing my lifestyle as a coach, or showing a fitness picture, whatever it is, something that's going to really catch eyes anyways and get a lot of posts. And that way that opens the doors for you to say, hey, I don't know if you meant to do this or not, but I noticed you liked this post about the challenge group opportunity, where if you are just being supportive, thank you so much. If not, I'd love to send you more information. And that's been a really big way for me to build relationships without necessarily going through all of those forming steps. If people are liking things on your wall, they're watching you, especially if those people aren't people that you haven't reached out to yet. If they're people that are kind of coming up in your life, again, that have been from your past, or new people that you friend requested that you haven't really engaged with yet, those are definitely prospects. So you should absolutely have their names down and reach out to them. And I do that a number of ways, but number 1 is first engaging in a public forum. So that could mean your personal page, their personal page. What usually happens is you'll reach out to them on their personal page and say, hey, like, great picture, where is this? Or I love that sweater, or whatever. That's a really cute picture of your kids. And you'll go back and forth. If they write something back to you, if you wrote once to them on a public forum and then they've written to you, then it's safe to say that it's okay for you to send them a message at that point and just say, hey, just thought I would introduce myself. I saw you liked one of my posts. We haven't officially met. How are you? I think we met, blah, 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 wherever you think that you added them from. Usually I have a lot of friends from the mom groups, but so that's how I do the starts of those new conversations. Another random thing you can do to just start a conversation is say, you see something that you can relate to, sending a message about that, sending some advice, whatever it is, and then reconnecting with old friends. And like I said, this isn't really about the connection process, but building that relationship. And it does, like I said, it doesn't have to be a real deep relationship. I feel like it just has to be something where they feel comfortable with you and you're starting to build the trust, and they have seen you. That's what Facebook and social media is also for. So remember that. They're watching you. So if you're doing a good job of posting on social media, they're going to feel connected to you and they're going to trust you because of also what you're putting out there. And that is helping you build your relationship. Anything else on this slide, Meg? Sorry.
No, I think you nailed it. I think you covered it. Should I move on to the next one?
Okay.
Okay. Alrighty. So The next piece, work from what I call like a general or skeleton message. So I know you guys can read, but I'm just going to read it out loud. So first thing you want to do though, is you want to make sure that you're addressing them by their name when you first reach out to them. Is everybody muted? Sorry. If you guys aren't muted, do you mind just please muting your, thank you so much. Okay, so you want to make sure that you address them by their name. Just feels a little more personal. So I have, hey, so-and-so, Happy New Year. How have you been? I hope your 2016 is off to a great start. And then I have insert something personal here. And I'm going to go on to talk a little bit about that on the next slide. I wanted to take a minute to reach out to you because I was making a list of people who may be interested in some upcoming health and fitness groups I've got going on at the end of the month. And I thought of you. This piece is pretty huge. Everybody loves to be thought of. And again, it's just another piece that, makes it feel more personal to the person that you're reaching out to. I noticed that you've been commenting on some of my fitness related posts, and I have a 21-day fitness challenge group starting up at the end of the month, which would entail 30-minute workouts daily, following an easy-to-follow nutrition plan that focuses on portion control and healthy eating habits, drinking a superfood nutrition shake, and receiving support, accountability, motivation, and all kinds of resources from me, your personal coach, in our group. There will also be opportunities for participants to win free prizes. The groups are so much fun, and I'd love for you to join us. Does this sound like something you'd be interested in? I look forward to hearing from you. I hope all is well. So again, general message that you can share with all of your prospects, which will require some tweaking and editing depending on who your prospect is and the specific challenge group that you're inviting them to. Okay. Is this little thing in the way here? Kind of. Okay, now it's really in the way. All right, so first part of your message is something personal. So here I have an example of how I reached out to a girl named Kayla. I said, hey Kayla, Happy New Year, how have you been? I saw that you went skiing last week. Whereabouts were you skiing? I've only been skiing once myself, but I had a blast, and it's definitely something that I'd love to try again this winter. This is where, you go to the person's page before you reach out to them, and you sort of just see what they've been up to. Like if you can't think of something personal to insert here, take a look at what they've been up to, see if there's anything on their feed that you can relate to and comment on. And then of course you have body of your invite, which is where that general skeleton message is going to come in. And the way you want to end this first message is with, does this sound like something you'd be interested in? So you wait for a response. Sometimes people don't respond to you. I mean, raise your hand if you haven't gotten responses from people. I think it's safe to say we all have had unanswered messages. You message people a few times and you're just like, they're still not responding to me. It's fine. It happens. The point is we're coaches and we're supposed to be inviting. We're doing our jobs inviting, and don't get discouraged if people don't, respond to you right away, or even if they don't respond to you at all. So here, Kayla responded to me. Just going to move this over here. So over here, when I respond back to her, I respond meaningfully. I say, I respond to what she says in the first part of her message about how next time she's in Mass. Oh my gosh, what just happened? Oh no. Okay. What is happening? Okay, here we go. Sorry, guys. So I respond to her first part of the message, and then I want to, relate back to what she said about how, she travels a lot for work and it's hard to stay motivated and on task and find time to make her fitness a priority. So I relate that back to my story. It's important to make your prospect feel like, okay, this person, has been in my shoes. They've, been, thinking, they have been at a point in their lives when they've thought to themselves, is this something that I could do? Maybe I'm not like financially where I want to be, where I'm able to commit. Am I ready? I don't know. Do I have enough time? So always relate it back to your story. And then at the end, you want to say, I'd love to send you more details in an email. At which point, obviously, if they do, in fact, want more information, and this prospect did send you an email address that you can, oh, sorry, Kelly. Okay. I don't know why it's doing that. All right, we're good. All right, so then you get their email address. Go ahead, Kelly.
Okay. So from there, and like Meg said, the general skeleton is I definitely recommend having something, and then just experimenting with that, what works for you. I mean, I've tried a few different skeletons, but once you I don't know. I just encourage you to find what works for you and use your language. So you can use our basic structure. And I know I've uploaded a script in the team page, but make sure that you're speaking in that general script like you talk. You don't want it to look phony. I just want to throw that in there. But questions. So once someone said, okay, that's great. They give you their email address. Definitely want to start and ask them some questions before you go ahead and just send them an email with all the 21-day fix information. You need to figure out what, if this program that you're starting this challenge group and what you have in mind. And I know a lot of us jump into the 21-day fix, which is another thing I don't want to encourage. These questions are the point of them is to figure out if this is going to be a good fit for them. So don't automatically assume you know what their goals are. So start figuring out, what do they need? And then start with all these questions. And I just listed some questions here, but what are your current health and fitness goals? Do you want to tone up, lose weight, jumpstart a healthy lifestyle? I always say that. And then I say, or all of the above, and a wink face. Like, it's like so easy. And most people say all of the above, like, of course. Where do you find you have struggled in the past with nutrition and fitness plans? How is your nutrition and eating? Do you exercise now? And all of these questions have a point. There's a goal. When you're thinking it through, you're trying to figure out, do they need higher intensity? Do they need lower intensity? Do they need a nutrition plan? Is their eating already okay? Do they feel like they have a busy schedule and they don't want to start a nutrition plan? What exercises do they like? Do they, you can't just assume someone's going to be a great fit for Insanity Max. They might hate cardio. So do they get, and then if you ask all of these questions and you're still not really getting any information that's really going to help you speak to why Shakeology is an important factor for their health, I always ask questions that will get them thinking about what Shakeology could do for them. So do you get cravings? Are you getting your daily nutrition? Do you feel like you want to munch all day? How are those energy levels? How's your digestion? And those questions will all sort of tie into Shakeology, which will in turn tie into that full package, the fitness, the nutrition, and the support. And when they're responding to these questions, I feel like it's something I always struggled with, but be relatable. You don't have to be a robot and say, okay, check. Like, I get that. I'm going to put that down in my notes. That's not what this is about. It's being relatable to them. So if they say, I always went to the gym and I don't know, I never know what to do at the gym. I did a couple machines. I'm like, oh my God, me too. I was the worst. I never knew what to do at the gym. That was my biggest struggle. I totally get where you're coming from. And just being able to speak like a real human, the human that you are, and relate to that story while you're asking those questions is going to make them feel a lot more comfortable, and they're going to trust you, and they're going to feel like you really understand what they really need to be successful in their health and fitness journey.
Mm-hmm. You good, Cal?
Yep.
Okay. So based on their responses to your questions, you're going to be able to gauge your program search. Now, there are some newer coaches on the call tonight, and the one thing that I really, really, really want new coaches and just every coach on this call to do before reaching out to their upline is to be resourceful. And by this, I mean, we have so many resources available to us as Team Beachbody coaches in our coach online office. All you have to do is go to the sales and marketing tab and the product toolkits tab, and you have everything that you could possibly hope and wish to get your pretty little fingers on for all of the programs and all of the products that we offer our customers. So, if somebody says that, they're interested in, a higher intensity program, but they don't really like cardio, you might have a few programs that pop into your head, maybe one of them being the 21-day fix, maybe one of them's the Masters Hammer and Chisel. Go through and look at the different training guides and the different, is that what it is? It's the training guides or the training guides for the different programs, and see based on what the information is, maybe which one might be a better fit. And you may end up offering your prospect more than one option. That's totally fine. You don't have to just choose, one program that you want to recommend to them. Will it take more work? Absolutely. But this is always going to be about what the best fit is for your customer. So make sure that you do take your time when it comes to finding a recommendation or a few recommendations that are going to work for that specific prospect. Because if they purchase a program based on your word and they don't like it, it's going back. You know what I mean? So it's better for you to really take the time to provide options, meaning more than one, if that's, what's going to be the best answer. And two, be resourceful, because yes, you can, go to your upline sponsor and ask them for the answers. But ultimately, if you want to be successful in this business, you need to seek out the answers for yourself. So then the recommendation. So I sort of included just a brief email format. Hey, so-and-so, so excited to hear that you're excited to, reiterate what it is they're looking to do on this health and fitness journey. And this is another opportunity for you to be relatable. So how can you relate to your prospect at this point in your email? So if they say, that they're excited to, make more time for themselves in their day and focus more on their nutrition and fitness. Just say, I remember how excited I was at the beginning of my journey when I felt like I had absolutely no time in my crazy day. For me personally, I would say as a first-year teacher, I had no time in my day, or I thought, to make time for my fitness and my nutrition. But this program, the 21-day fix, for example, really worked well for me because the workouts were only a half hour, XYZ. So relate back to where your prospect is at. After considering XYZ, I've decided to provide you with some additional information on blank because blank. So sharing that because is important. So for the 21-day fix, for example, I've decided to provide you with some additional information on the 21-day fix because you mentioned that portion control is an issue for you, and so is managing your time with your 3 kids. And 21-day fix provides you with blank, blank, and blank. So in this recommendation email, you're going to want to share information on what's included in the challenge pack. Like if you sort of have to take the position of, say you're the person on the opposite end of that computer screen, you know nothing about this program. What would you want to know in a recommendation email? Like what's going to be helpful to you? So what's included in this challenge pack? I like to include pictures in my emails with text. So that's another option. Share some information on the workouts, how long they are, the type of workouts, the equipment needed, etc. Share information on the nutrition plan. So for example, how it's customizable, maybe like for the Masters Hammer and Chisel, how it's customizable for a person's, specific like weight loss or weight gain goals. include a little information on Shakeology, throw in a YouTube video or the ingredients benefits chart. And always remember to share the value of our challenge groups. Why is the accountability important? Because 80% of people fall off the wagon when they don't have the support and accountability of somebody else cheering them on. It's a huge component. Without accountability, it just doesn't work. So make sure you're sharing the value of that. Right, Kelly?
All right, we're running out of time, so I'm trying
What
to
time
talk
is it?
fast.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so step number 6 is you have 6 minutes, yeah. Is the follow-up and cost. So after you've sent that recommendation email, if you haven't heard from the person that you sent the email to within 48 hours, I'd recommend just sending a brief message on whatever forum it is that you've been talking to them, whether it be Facebook Messenger or email. Hey, Jan, just wanted to make sure you got my email. I know it can be a lot of info. Is there anything else I could help answer? What did you think? Did you have any questions? Always ask a question at the end of that follow-up that encourages more contact so that you can follow up, or they'll feel that they need to respond to you. If they say nothing, everything looks great, thank you so much, I'm ready, let's rock, let's do this, then that's your opportunity to, again, remind them of everything that they get as a part of their challenge pack. If they say, how much is it? Before they even say, I'm ready to rock, same thing. You have that opportunity to bring everything back up to the forefront of their mind. So be excited. Your client's going to feel your enthusiasm. If you say, okay, great, I'm so excited, you're going to love this, I know it's going to help you with these 3 things you told me about. So here it is for the 7 workouts, the eating plan, the nutrition guide, the containers, all of these things you can read here for yourself. I always end with access to my private support and accountability group and me as your coach and biggest support system. It's $140 and always an explanation at the end because it's exciting. This isn't something that you want to feel badly about, that it costs so much. If you feel like that, they're going to feel like that. So be excited about that cost. And again, before you tell them any pricing, repeat every single thing that they get as a part of their challenge pack. Take it away.
Okay. At which point you turn to the Coach mobile app because it's a godsend. So you say something a little bit like, so excited to have you join us in our challenge group. To get your order all squared away, I'm going to take things into my hands and I'm going to place your order with the program that you want and the flavor of Shakeology that you want. This is one thing I'm going to have to be cognizant of moving forward now. When I list all of the Shakeology flavors, I have to remember to include cafe latte now. So you want to tell them what their Shakeology options are and, give your recommendations too. Fill it out. Also explain the value of enrolling as a discount coach. For one, you get the 25% discount on future Beachbody purchases. There is the option of, pursuing the business opportunity, but they don't have to. They can also, do the refer 3, get yours free, though it's not mandatory. And don't leave the details out. I have done this before and people are like, why is it asking me to enter my social security number? I'm not really comfortable with that. So when they're enrolling as a discount coach, explain that they'll be required to enter that, but that it's only for tax ID purposes should a person decide to actually go ahead and pursue the business opportunity. So anything you want to add here, Kelly?
No, I guess I'll cover it in the next slide, actually.
Okay.
Okay, so then that's it. You've submitted their information on the app. I was about to say, so step number 8 is the last chance or the welcome, but after you submit that info onto their app, I always, no matter what, shoot them a quick message and say, okay, you're all set up. Just look for that email from Team Beachbody to confirm with your payment. Especially if you're talking to them back and forth and they've been like, okay, yeah, sign me up. I want chocolate Shakeology. Okay, you're all set. They're probably going to just press play with the order right then. So you definitely want to let them know that it's all set. Track their order status. You can do so from the app. If you don't know how to do that, there's 3 tabs at the bottom where you can hit started, sent, started, complete. If in 48 hours their status has not moved from the first 2 tabs to complete, then you can follow up with them again. Hey, just checking in. Did you get the email from Team Beachbody? Just curious. I'll sometimes say, hey, I know sometimes in the past it's been in people's spam boxes. Just wanted to be sure you had everything you needed to get set up so we can make sure you get everything in time for the group. I know you were really excited about XYZ. Again, bring up why they were excited. This is about them always. And I want to make sure you don't miss out on our start date. It's so much more powerful to all start together. And I mean, you don't have to say that line, but it is, and we know that, so we want them to make sure they get everything on time. And when you see their order is complete, then that's your opportunity to send them the welcome email and officially congratulate them on taking the step towards bettering their health and their fitness and reaching their goals. So don't forget to create excitement then. This is the opportunity. Your journey now has just begun with this person. So definitely send that welcome email. And I guess that's it. We covered our 8 steps with a minute to spare.
I know. So like I said at the beginning of this, we will be sharing this with you in the Google Drive, and we'll also obviously share the recording of this call. So sorry that we don't have like an extra minute to take any questions or comments, but feel free to post questions and comments in our team pages once we share this stuff with you guys. Okay. Sorry, what? I don't know what just happened.
I was just saying thank you for getting on.
Yes, thank you everybody for coming on. We'll see you next week. Same time, same place. And that's it. That's all she wrote. All right, guys. We'll see you next week.